Once upon a time I was falling in love. Now I'm only falling apart. There's nothing you can say. A total eclipse. Live, pal! Everybody, I was reading a comic book. It's called Daredevil. It's the annual issue number 1. Chip Zdarsky drew this. The writer actually drew the cover art, which is cool, right? Beautiful cover. And I'm going to say more nice things about this. It honored history, even recent history. This was a positive book that came out from Marvel. It honored history, even recent history. You hear that? That's me watching myself. Sorry about that. Daredevil issue number 1 happens. Great book. Except for the one part that everyone does. They included a fake family member in this comic book. Like, that, since Star Wars Episode 5. No, I am your father. No, that's impossible. I believed that in a film that came out in 1980. It's possible. I mean, it was impossible. It was a shocker. It was the world crumbling beneath my feet. Well, I wasn't around for that, but you know what I mean. Like, that is how you use that. Secret family member, it's a dad, and there's no beating that moment. Mike Murdoch, I know Charles Soule created it. I didn't know at the time. I learned afterwards. But making him real and adding it to the story is not something I can celebrate and be like, yo, this is a good ass idea. It's simply not. Hello. What kind of name is that, buddy? Hello to LB. Thank you for joining me. LB, I know you're not a comic guy. This is beyond comics. This is just the storytelling trope of secret family members in the story. Because the comic book writer or whoever creator is too lazy, or rather he sees the shortcut of creating an emotional attachment with one character, and what better way than linking them by blood? You're actually a family member with this, so you gotta care about him. Instead of putting in the work of a relationship, maybe a little love story here and there, and then like coming to fruition, you know what I mean? You know who did do it right? The Fantastic Four. They've got little I forgot his name, Franklin Richards. We see him grow up throughout the ages. I know they did like a little 5-year time skip when they made him older when he was in another universe and whatnot. That's cool though. You got to do that because, you know, time doesn't really pass in comics. What didn't you like about the DD Annual? Just the fake family. There were things I did like the part about the Norn Stones. I remember reading this Bendis. It's called Powerless, and this is Loki introducing the Norn Stones to. Let me get your comment out the way. The Norn Stones over to Parker Robinson, the Hood. Loki shows him that. He goes, yo, if you have these in your hands, you can do whatever you wish, basically. And that, you know, this comic, which I read a long time ago, mattered in a current comic. That's cool. If you honor stories from the past and you make me feel like, you know, going to my bookshelf, taking out a thing and be like, let me just refresh myself, which I did. What you're doing to me is you're giving me an experience, an out of comic, an out of reading experience where I actually move my body and take an action. That's crazy for you to do that with your writing. That's really, really good. It's definitely great things to talk about when it comes to, what's that? Oh, it's a little hand sign. I got bad vision. I gotta like zoom in just to see your little emojis. Yo, you know how people make their emojis white, black, like the skin color of what they are? I was never about that. I like the yellow. Yellow is my you know, not, you know, you can celebrate your skin color and everyone. I'm happy for how you guys want to be yourselves, but I feel like I'm racializing something that shouldn't, you know, it's emojis, you know what I mean? I know the counter argument would be you're personalizing it. Oh, that's my thoughts on emojis, everybody. All right. I prepared something. I actually wrote down all the things I could think of just before I started this to tell you of all the family members who were secretly, you know, family members. So Spider-Man, right? Apparently he's got a sister, a half-sister that's been around the whole time that they just kind of introduced randomly like that, right? The other Spider-Man, Miles, it's not the same, but his uncle is apparently a secret villain. Oh my god, secret family member associated to the family. We got recently Captain Marvel. Apparently, Kal-El is from the Kree Empire, and her mom is a Kree. And just recently, it's not even a month ago, it's the same month of this Daredevil thing, Carol has a sister. It's not very original, people. Whether it's good or bad, I'm not here to argue that with you. It was a fine story, fine way to tell it. Very enjoyable. But it's just a thing I've seen before countless of different times. The black doesn't quite match my tone. Oh, I know your tone because I see videos. By the way, The Lonely Banter is a YouTuber here who I would highly recommend. He covers things and he has a chill perspective. Everyone check him out. He's got dark complexion. DC time skipped Super Son in Bendis Superman. Superboy will never be as cool as Franklin Richards. Okay, so that's what DC's doing. DC, didn't they also do Batman's kid, Damian? That's the thing, like Damian's 12 years old though. They can't really age him too much because they'll be like, wait a minute, that means Bruce Wayne is actually in his 40s, and then it just ruins everything. If they want to, they can do anything they want to, honestly. If they want to keep continuity. Like in Marvel, they've got Eddie Brock, and Eddie Brock has a child named Dylan. And Dylan can't be more than, let's say, 9 years old because like 9 months into pregnancy and only 10 years have ever passed that they'll acknowledge in Marvel, and Dylan is always going to be that young. Like it's another story of just a family member being added that Donny Cates made. You're very welcome, my good friend. We should do one of these. I want to do one of those 33 questions, like when I go, has Spider-Man ever caught up on Star Wars? Has Thanos ever lied? Because he said that in the movie. I want to go through with these things. Does Fury really have a wife? These are old questions from my previous video, but I do want to do one of those with you, LB. I don't know. Let's DM me if you can think of a time when you're free, because I do have 33 burning questions that I want to do again, but I need to have a guest, and I don't want to have the same guest all the time. I did Second Street Marvel. I did Comic Book University. You're next, LB, if you want to. I mean, if you don't want to, I'll just find someone else. I was talking about Eddie Brock, right? So that's the Spider-Man portion of the Marvel Universe. Let's look at the X-Men. Logan, how many secret kids does he have? We've got the Dakin. We've got X-23. Again, accelerated growth. They made her older. Dakin more so is like, Logan, you've been alive for so long. Dakin exists. Let me get rid of this thing. Dakin exists. Who else am I thinking of? Is this better? I like yellow, okay? Yellow emojis matter. This is the message I'm spreading right now. I'm trying to get rid of that does Fury have a wife thing. Why is it still there? Let's look at Marvel Comics Presents issue number 6 from last year. They made Logan have another kid. Never seen her since, but there's another child there. There's a lot of people in Marvel who, in X-Men. Scott Summers, he's got a secret dad, right? He's a Starjammer. I'm surprised they haven't done anything with the mom. Not to mention Vulcan. In 2006, they introduced this new guy, Vulcan. It's Scott and Alex's brother, and he's Omega level. And again, accelerated growth because the Shi'ar could do that. It's not very original. How many Rasputins are we going to get introduced to? How many, what are the Excalibur line? That family. There's like 3 of them, and I can't remember the last name of them. Betsy Braddock. How many Braddock family members are there going to be in the actual story of the X-Men? How many Guthries are they just going to introduce to us? Because, okay, you know what? There's this flying mutant. Her name is Arrow, and she's a Guthrie. Ariel Guthrie? What was her even name? Hope Guthrie? They just create them just like that. Because a family connection to Sam Guthrie, who we all know, not from the New Mutants movie, not that kid. I don't know who that was. But Sam Guthrie has these a little sister named Husk and a little sister named everything, and will associate the Guthrie family, and therefore you will care for this character now, just because they're a Guthrie. Let's go to the Thor part of the thing. Balder kind of gets introduced. I don't know he's in Norse mythology, but Thor has a brother named Balder, okay? They did the opposite with Loki. They were like, he's not your brother, so that's pretty interesting. But with Odin, I know he's got a brother named Kull, who they introduced in 2011 in Fear Itself. He's just been underwater the whole time. It happens in every story, every character. We look at Iron Man, right? Speaking of Iron Man, Magneto, who can control iron. I know he's got kids, Quicksilver and Wanda. They just secretly, they've been your family the whole time. They did the secret family member thing with him too. Just forgot to mention that. Iron Man now. Tony Stark, do, actually has a Mama Stark, do, who's not his real mom. Like, the one we were introduced to isn't actually truly his mom. It's some famous singer who's like a SHIELD agent, and the dad was a Hydra agent, and he's alive too. So now Tony Stark has secret family members that we didn't know. And Arno Stark is one of them. That Iron Man 2020 guy, Arno Stark, is a secret family member of Tony. It's not very original, guys. Like, these are stories that are getting written today, and Chip Zdarsky's kind of just adding to it, or Charles Soule is adding to this thing where he makes Daredevil have a secret brother named Mike Murdock, who's just been existing this whole time along with Daredevil. Riri Williams did it too with her dad. Apparently he's alive the whole time. He didn't actually die. His name is Dimitri, and apparently her mom used to call Dimitri Williams Riri. Then they had the kid, and they're like, let's name her Riri. It happens in a comic that just happened. I guess it was a year ago. It's not very original. Whether it was executed well or not, I'm not gonna dispute that. But the idea of secret family members, this trope, I'm done with it. Let me read you guys' comments now. Beta Ray Cosby says Logan has a Wu-Tang Clan worth of kids. Yup. Yo. Indubitably. So that's you agreeing? Thank you for agreeing. Hey, Second Street, we're just talking about you. We're saying nice things. And then we go to Thomas, who goes, there will be 3 to 4 families. I forgot what I was talking about when I... 3 to 4 families. What you mean, like with the X-Men, the Guthrie family, the Braddock family, the Cyclops Summers family? I don't remember what you're talking about. And Baldur is important to the Ragnarok prophecy. That's fair. I do recognize that. But if I were just to like spew out family members who were not secret, but they just made family members associated to the character from the beginning. Gwen Stacy and Commissioner Stacy, you know? They do the family thing. This is not a secret family thing, but they do the family thing enough times where even when they do it with the secret surprise, it's not something I haven't seen before. That's my thoughts on that, guys. Thank you for joining me. Before I end this, I'm actually gonna wait 10 seconds because usually you guys write stuff to me. So you guys can check out me on Chillmonger. You can subscribe if you're not subscribed. I don't know why you're here if you're not subscribed. You can check out the podcast that I recorded where I actually talked about Chadwick Boseman's passing. I haven't done that here. I don't feel right doing it, like a video about... I didn't do one for Kobe. I did one for... I mentioned Comic Jabroni dying in a review last week. Just began with it. I felt it was enough to mention there. But I just don't know how to talk about things like death. I'm doing it now, right? But and even now I'm uncomfortable speaking on Chadwick Boseman's. Not that I'm like making money out of this video or anything, but I just don't feel right doing it. That's me. All right, guys. Thank you for joining me. I'm out of here like Vladimir. And broadcast. Click.